Covered the bodies of 17 of the passengers, male and female, who had been on board doomed Air France Flight 447, the stricken Airbus that crashed in the South Atlantic exactly a week ago tonight. Brazilian military authorities have just released these new photos showing several structural parts of the aircraft that searchers have also recovered. Meanwhile, today, in a memorial service in Lafayette, Louisiana, friends and family of the only Americans on board Flight 447, geologist Michael Harris and his wife Ann, who was born in Lafayette, were remembered even as investigators increasingly focused their probe of the world's worst air disaster in the last 8 years on a piece of equipment. Craig reports.
Geraldo, it's called the Pitot probe. It's the device that actually measures the aircraft's airspeed, and it's a critical piece of equipment and may have malfunctioned on the Air France, causing it to crash. Dr. Bob Arnott is also a pilot. Dr. Bob, tell me, what could have gone wrong with the Pitot probe?
Here you have an airplane going through a storm with 100-mile-an-hour updrafts, taking very warm ocean water up to 35,000 feet. It's 40 below 0 centigrade there. When that freezes, your airspeed starts to diminish.
Maintenance computers automatically sent out 24 malfunctions on the aircraft, all of which indicate the aircraft suddenly broke apart.
They could either cause the airplane to go too fast, in which case it might break apart, or too slowly, in which case they might stall the airplane and would start to fall out of the sky.
And this isn't the first time pilots have made the wrong choice from a false airspeed reading. Item February 1996. A Boeing 757 crashed in the Dominican Republic, killing all 189 passengers. Conflicting speed readings caused the pilots to stall the plane. Item 1997. Pitot tube icing was suspected in the crash of a DC-9 in Uruguay. 74 people were killed. The NTSB has cited 2 other incidents with Pitot tube heating problems in 2002 and 2005.
Air France themselves had actually complained about these Pitot tubes because of malfunction, and they had been replacing them on these airplanes. This particular one had not had the replacement yet.
And why was Flight 447 in the storm to begin with? Hundreds of miles beyond the scope of the nearest radar station.
They should have been in that circumstance. The flight dispatch for Air France should have been following this to the ground to see where the airplane was, to talk to these pilots. They have onboard radar to be able to see the system. The Iberia flight, 12 minutes behind it, saw it and went to the east of it.
Item: violent turbulence knocked off the plane's autopilot, while Air France's pilots had thousands of hours of experience flying manually with electrical problems would be near impossible on this aircraft.
There's a push rod, a mechanical rod that's attached to this. In a fly-by-wire, there is no rod. So if the electrics all go bad and there's no electrical circuitry, you're left without the ability to fly the airplane.
The pings from this device, the size of a toilet paper roll, will last just 30 days. A French submarine has been dispatched to the crash site in hopes of recovering the black box.
This is what we are looking for in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
In that regard, the U.S. Navy is helping. They've sent a team down. The Navy will operate the devices, these pinging devices from the back of 2 French tugs. The U.S. Navy will operate them, though. Craig, it is infuriating that it is a piece of equipment that they knew was a piece of crap that they still have on these airplanes.
Yeah, the Airbus has had problems with this piece of equipment since 2001. Numerous flights have had problems with the airspeed indicators, causing the FAA to tell Airbus, you have to fix this problem. They've even had them change the pilot flight manual for the aircraft.
If I were a practicing attorney, I would line up every passenger on board. I would sue the pants off Air France and Airbus. It is inexcusable. Thanks, bro.